Hey guys. So it's been a while since I've uploaded a video, mostly because I'm having a very long week of going to VBS in the mornings at my church and then going to work in the evenings. So until about from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. I'm out and about, and then I get home and I have about an hour of resting time, which I do mostly in this chair. And then I go about the next day the same as I usually do. Right now is my day off of work, so I'm able to kind of do what I want. But I did VBS this morning, and I'm going to be going to what we call Wednesdays at the Park with my youth group this evening. So I'm a little tired, and I was going to take a nap, but I thought I'd upload this in the 20 or so minutes that I have, and kind of let you guys know a little bit more about what's going on, because I haven't really explained who I am and what I'm dealing with. So, my name is Daisy. I currently weigh around 290 to 293, and yes, that's 290 to 293 pounds. I'm not proud of that fact in any way, but I'm also not uncomfortable with telling you my weight. I know that I'm not entirely, as I'll explain with my health predicaments, at fault when it comes to my weight. So it's not something I can always fix. For me, my weight is something that fluctuates a great deal. I have never weighed this much in my life, and I don't want to weigh this much. I don't think that I'm ugly, but I do think that there is a skinnier version of the beautiful me that I can find that will enable me to be healthy, and to do the things that I'd like to do. Like, I used to, when I was younger, swim a lot and hike a lot and be outdoors a ton, and now I'm like on stairs, which are indoors and not exactly the plan. The things that kind of prevent me from being full on out, working out, and losing weight are about 13 different health problems. And it's kind of an unlucky number, I know that, but these are like the 13 things that I've been dealing with, and I have the thought that I'm not necessarily dealing with these things, but I am overcoming these things in order to be the smaller version of me. And I need to lose about 100 pounds in order to be healthy. Doctors have been telling me that since 2004, but apparently I didn't get the memo, or I decided to be lazy and silly about it, which is where my personal fault comes in when it comes to my weight. I'm not proud that I was super lazy those years past. I'm not super angry at myself, but I am disappointed in myself in some ways. And I am working to work on that and kind of be like, okay, that was the past, and this is the future, and you're going to move on, and you're going to do this. I've attempted to lose weight quite a few times. I've done pretty well. I tried things like Weight Watchers, where I lost about 25 pounds, but then I gained it all back once I didn't continue Weight Watchers, which is kind of the way things like that work. Not that it's bad, it just didn't work for me because of how my body works. And I've tried, and I'm always like, oh, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll start tomorrow, this is my last time eating this burger, or whatever, and I have a hard time saying no to fast food, which is something that I've been better about. I haven't been great about it, but for the last 3 or 4 weeks, I've had maybe 75% less fast food than I've ever had in my life. Which, for me, or at least since I was diagnosed with all these different things, anyway, long story short, let me get to the health things, so this doesn't take forever. In 2004, I wasn't feeling well, and I basically felt and I noticed that I was getting heavier. I had always thought that I was a heavy person, when in realization In real life, I was not. I look back on photos where I thought I was heavy. I was just a very tall kid, and so that made me super awkward. I was about 5'6" in 6th grade, so that makes you feel awkward as a girl when you're the tallest kid in school. But anyway, so I look back on those pictures, and I wasn't in any way that person that I thought I was. And now, unfortunately, I am that person that I thought I was previously. And in some respects, I let myself get that way, and in other respects, I couldn't fix it. But in 2004, I was diagnosed with what's called polycystic ovarian syndrome. I believe it's either 1 in 10 or 1 in 4, and I know that's a huge difference, but it's been a long time since I've been diagnosed. And my facts are a little rusty because I haven't been keeping up on it, which is why I am trying to lose the weight now, and I didn't do it before. PCOS, basically you have cysts in your ovaries, polycystic ovarian syndrome. It also causes a bunch of other symptoms, and they aren't entirely sure what it does, or how it comes about, rather. It does quite a few things. You can be overweight and have it. You can be skinny as a rail and have it. You can develop things like insulin resistance, which is number 2 on my list of health problems. Insulin resistance for me personally is that my body makes 5 times more insulin than it really needs. So it does the regular amount. My body's like, okay, where's the insulin? When it's already there. So it makes extra, and then it doesn't know where to store the extra because it can't process all of it correctly, so then it stores it as fat. And that is why I gained weight at such a rapid time. I think when I was 13, I was around, I don't know, I was a little bit bigger, but I wasn't huge. I was not anywhere close to what I am now. And so I gradually, but like within a year's time, I got really big, and it definitely scared me. So the first one, PCOS, second one, insulin resistance, third one, I believe I was diagnosed with in 2006 or 7, is fatty liver disease, and it's basically what it sounds like. Usually your liver is shaped like a lima bean, is what my friend from medical school told me. In some kind of form like a lima bean. Mine is shaped like a circle because all it has is a bunch of fat attached to it, inside of it, all that kind of stuff. And it doesn't filter things out as best as it could because it's got too much fat in it. And the only way to reduce fatty liver disease is to lose weight. And the only way to reduce the symptoms of PCOS is to lose weight. And the only way to get my body to store less fat is to not have as much body to store fat in. Which is my way of explaining how the insulin resistance works. I also, in 2006, was diagnosed with a herniated disc. One of my lumbar discs, which is one of the lower discs in my back, is herniated. We've never figured out what from. I probably was trying too hard to move all my stuff in by myself in college and did something to it. I didn't like to wait. I still don't like to wait for results to things. And so I was the one who probably picked up too many things and hurt themselves. That herniated disc also pinches a nerve. The nerve is called my sciatic nerve, and that gives me number 5, which is sciatica, which is when that sciatic nerve is pinched and it gets irritated, basically, and it inflames. And your sciatic nerve actually goes all the way down your leg, and mine goes all the way down my left leg. I believe that's the same for everybody, but I could be wrong. And it makes everything inflamed. My left foot hasn't been not swollen since 2006. It does make it difficult to walk sometimes. My back always hurts. My left leg is always weaker. I also have some unknown pain that I need to get checked out once I have medical insurance again. Um, in my shoulder, which is the same kind of pain. So I think I pinched a nerve in my collarbone or my shoulder, but it makes my arm and underneath my arm swell up, and I can't put it against my body because it hurts really bad. And it's gotten worse in the last few months. Anyway, I'm getting that checked out as well. But that's actually not part of the 13. So PCOS, insulin resistance, fatty liver, herniated disc, sciatica. I also have sleep apnea, which is where I don't breathe while I'm asleep, which makes it so I don't sleep well. I have cough-induced asthma, which makes me, anytime I cough when I have a cold or something, it makes me able to get asthma attacks, and also feel like I can't breathe most of the time. I also can't sing as well as I used to because I can't get enough breath to my lungs, and I have inflamed bronchial walls when that happens. And actually, they're kind of inflamed all the time. I've just learned to deal with the shortness of breath, which I did have my heart looked at, and my heart is fine. In fact, my heart is probably better than the rest of my entire body. The doctor was very impressed with how well my heart is doing, considering how big of a person I am and what they were worried that they might find. Okay, so we have those. So we have PCOS, insulin resistance, fatty liver, which is a liver disease, by the way, herniated disc, sciatica, sleep apnea, cough-induced asthma, acid reflux, which is no fun for anybody. It's more of an inconvenience than anything. Like anything with acidic stuff in it, all of a sudden you're just stuck with this burning, ouchy pain. I've had sore throats for years, and apparently that's what the problem was. I also have Baker's cyst behind my knees. They're either pockets. It's been a long time. I was diagnosed with these when I was like 13. I have Baker's cysts under my knees, which are either pockets of air. I believe they're pockets of air underneath my knees, or pockets of water that make it so that I don't walk correctly, which gives me orthotics. I also have, and I'm trying to think through all the different things that I have. I also have a high level of D-dimer in my blood, which D-dimer kind of is the indication of how much your blood can clot, and that's not a good thing to have that high, as I've been told. So I got scared, and this is kind of hard to talk about, but I'm going to do it. I got scared about a year or so ago. I had a different job. I wasn't taking care of myself. To be honest, I wasn't really caring. I would go to the doctor when things got bad enough that I just couldn't do anything, but I started not being able to breathe very well, which is where I found out that, I have all these asthma and sleep apnea and acid reflux and all that different kind of thing. But they did blood work, to figure it out. They sent me to a cardiac, health center. They had my heart looked at. They had my lungs looked at. That's where I found out I had the asthma. They did a sleep test, which is where I found out I had sleep apnea. And I did not sleep well. Those things are terrible. And then I also had to get a CAT scan, and I had to miss a day of work. And I had to basically just skip it entirely. I had to call work and say I can't make it, because my doctor called and said, your blood tests are a little abnormal, your D-dimer is really high up, and with this shortness of breath, I'm worried that you might have a pulmonary embolism. And a pulmonary embolism is a blood clot in your lungs, where if it gets really bad in it, if there's a blood clot in your lungs, there's a chance that you can die, basically. There's a huge chance. And I'm not willing to take that chance at all. And it scared the bejesus out of me for about a week. and then I was being lazy and stupid again, and I wasn't trying, and sorry. And I didn't care because I didn't have a good job, and I felt like I had nobody I could talk to, and I felt ugly. I mean, in society now we're taught that the bigger you are, the uglier you are. Just plain and simple, that's what we're taught. That you have to be this big in order to be loved. Or you have to look a certain way. And I don't think that's it at all. I don't think that's nice. I don't think it's kind. I don't think that's how the way the world should work ever. And I don't think we should judge people who are this big either. Maybe they have a problem that they're going through. But it scared me so much. And then I just went back to what I was doing. Because I think I was super depressed, to be honest. And I didn't tell anybody. But I tried a couple times to try to lose the weight, and then I got so disappointed in myself that I would just eat food as a coping mechanism, which was not, it's not a good coping mechanism to eat the thing that's basically killing you. And I've never, ever, and I know there's lots of people who have health problems and things you can't fix them, and it's super hard to try to do exercises with a herniated disc, and it's super hard to try to do exercises when you're this big. It just is, and walking upstairs are not fun, and all this stuff, and it makes me so sad to think that I was scared to death. Like, I literally went by myself in to make sure that I didn't have a pulmonary embolism, and I didn't. Thank God. But I went by myself, and I called my mom, first of all, because I was freaking out, and then I don't remember what the deal was with my car or something, but I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking, to be honest. It was a while back, and I called my friend who's a youth director, and I called my other friend who works in children's ministry. Basically the three sets of people that I really wanted to know in case something happened. And I was so scared. I'm sorry, I was super scared. My mom's like, do you want me to come down there? And she now lives in a town that's about an hour away. And I said, no, by the time you get here, I'll already be in there. And, you know, it's not a big deal. And to be honest, though, I could have used my mom. But I was trying to, you know, be the upbeat me. And I've been to the doctor so many times since 2004. It's ridiculous. And that's not how it should be. And I'm tired. In fact, right now I'm icing my foot because it hurts. And I'm tired of doing that. Sorry, I've got tears all over the place. But I knew I was in a funk when I thought about it a couple months ago, and I thought I could have been in a place where I wouldn't be alive anymore if I had had a pulmonary embolism. And there's I don't know what the chance is, but I know on medical shows and stuff, and granted they're not correct, but I know with medical stuff, that's a very high risk thing if they have to do surgery for something like that. And what if it didn't work? I would have been disappointing. I mean, not disappointing, but I would have been leaving a lot of people sad. My family would have been sad, but I would have been leaving the legacy of not taking care of myself, and not being there to show my family how much I love them, or my friends, in fact, that I called, and everybody was so super supportive. And I thought back to that day, and I still do all the time, when I think that I can't do this anymore, or I think that I just want fast food because I don't know what to cook, or when I'm just not sure what I should do, and I feel like giving up, I just think back to the day and how many people were willing to be praying for me and who were worried about me and who cared that I was going through that. And I don't want to go to the doctor for 13 different reasons. I just don't. It's stupid. I don't want it anymore. So, the goal from now on, and I'll move on from being super emotional, but the goal from now on is to lose 100 pounds in a year. And I've made some days where I probably eat what I shouldn't have. I have an app on my phone that helps me, and it's not an iPhone, I just have a regular phone, but it's an app on there that helps me gauge kind of the calories that I need to be at for the weight that I would like to be, and it's really helpful. It's called MyFitnessPal, if you want to use it. I think it's really easy to use. But this is, I mean, I don't want to die and leave my family without me, but I also want to be the me that I know is somewhere in here. And I'm not saying that I'm not the real person that I've always been. I just know the real me can show on the outside too. But the kind and caring me, the one who wants to be outdoorsy and adventurous, who wants to get back to hiking and swimming and playing with my nieces, who are just a little bit over 1 year old, and they're a huge motivation, because if they're already learning to walk, and I still can barely, keep my balance sometimes due to my back and things and my feet, and I also have an ankle that didn't fully heal from a sprain and a fracture, so it's kind of messed up, and that's the 13th thing. But I want all of this. I want all of me to show on the outside the way that I picture it. And I know I'm beautiful, and I know I'm loved, and I know I have people who care. And I finally get that. And I finally get that there's a reason to do this. That I need to give people the benefit of the doubt that the outside me is not why they like me. In fact, to be honest, I'm surprised sometimes that people like me. I can talk for hours on end like I am right now, and people still listen. And it's very sweet of them. They care so much about me, and I do appreciate that. And I hope all of my friends, if you're watching this, or all of my family, I appreciate that you love me and you care about me. And for all of you that have helped me in the last couple of years where I didn't have money, or I was scared about life, and the job wasn't working, thank you for helping me out, for giving me groceries, you grocery fairy, for making things easy for me when it came to money, for allowing me to be an intern at the church so that I could be making a little bit extra and actually afford groceries and medical bills. And for those of you who are willing to lend me your cars so I can drive them while mine is currently defunct, and for helping me figure out how to get a new car and all that stuff. You guys are awesome. And I'm glad I finally realized how awesome you guys are. And you're not only one of the reasons that I want to do this, but I want to be me, and I can't be me in this body anymore. I just can't. And there's things I love about my body. Don't get me wrong. I think my hair is fantastic most of the time. And I like that I wear glasses. And I think my lips are pretty, and my skin is really clear most of the time, and my family hates that. They actually make fun of me. They're like, "Oh, your skin's so beautiful, it's not fair." Those are the things I absolutely love, but I think there's things that could be so much better. I could breathe better, and I could be healthier, and I could just feel better. Instead of feeling like a bump on a log, I can feel like I can run and jump and just be free. And the best thing about it is, and if you're not religious, just stop it here, because you're probably not going to agree with this, but oh well. But the only reason that I have hope and joy and things that are challenges like this is because God is with me. He just is. There's no other explanation that I could have gotten through the things that I've gotten through, that I have 13 illnesses and they haven't like fought with each other and killed me off. The fact that I don't have a pulmonary embolism. There's nothing besides God that can explain why I am still here. And why I should be here and why I need to do this. So I'm going to be losing 100 pounds in a year, or as close to 100 pounds as possible. And I'm going to find out who the real me is, learn how to withstand temptation when it comes to food, learn how to have willpower and just to be me. And if you want to watch the videos that I make in regard to all of this, feel free. If you don't want to, then just want to read the posts that I make in regard to it, fine. Or if you don't even care, that's fine. You want to know why? Because this isn't about letting 5,000 people know. Granted, it's on YouTube. But this is for me. So I can have a timeline of how I'm doing, and I can see the progress. Because I'm going to need to see the progress. I know halfway through I'm going to want to give up. That's just the way it's always been with me. But I'm determined to change that. In fact, this last week I've wanted to give up like 50 times. And I gave in a little bit, but I haven't given up. In fact, today I even said to my mom, we went out to lunch, and I said I want to be able to get something healthy, even though what I really wanted was the Chinese food that I could smell and see right next to me. But I knew that that was not the healthiest choice at the mall that we were at. So I thought about it, I sat there, I made sure I made a good decision, and I went and got a healthy sandwich. That's progress. And I'm just hoping for more of it. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll talk to you another time. And I hope that I lose more weight very healthily and successfully throughout the rest of this.